1974 Starcraft Starcruiser. Couple branches on the roof. Fresh paint on the top. It was initially painted black when I got it. We sealed it with roof paint to make it a little cooler inside and make sure it wasn't leaking any. Here's the back end of it. Body damage, there is a scrape right here. Not all the way through the fiberglass, just needs filled, it looks like. Up here in the corner, somebody backed into something at some point. It's been filled with silicone to keep any leaks out. And up here in this corner, same thing. It doesn't go up any further than what you see right there, I don't believe. It's also something that'll need to be addressed with fiberglass. Other than that, body's in really good shape. I believe the overflow jug for the radiator had cracked and busted, so the previous owner actually just bypassed it and used a jug for the overflow. So a little bit of damage around the front headlight, cracked. It's not been hit or anything, it just looks like it's just cracked over the years. And wheels are painted brown. New tires around it. See the tread, might be too dark. Welcome to the 70s. Used to have shag carpet at one point, but that had been removed. There's a divider curtain that goes right here. I just took it out. It's made of like a vinyl, and it had gotten old and started to crack. So I've still got all the hardware, but the material needs replaced. Refrigerator, not the prettiest, but functional. Fridge and the icebox works. This pulls out to a bed. Seats are in really good shape. I've thoroughly washed them. I pulled the sponges out of each and every seat, soaked and rinsed them until the water came out clean. Laundry detergent and bleach. Heater that runs off the engine. Once the engine gets warm, water circulates through it. This bunk bed up here actually drops down. This pulls out to, I believe, queen size bed. In good shape. The cushions are cloth on one side and vinyl on the other. There is one cushion that has the zipper coming loose somewhere. I forget which one it is, but it's not bad. Table drops down. This turns into a double bed. Man. His seat flips forward here. This back moves up to here and actually folds down also for a long bed, or just double as the back for the table. Let me start this thing up. Haven't had it start in a few weeks, so here's a cold start. One, two, let's see how it does. When it's a cold start, it usually takes a second or two for it to actually fire up like it just did. But after it runs just a little bit, a couple minutes, it fires right up within this first turn of the key. Great oil pressure. System's charging. She is darn near empty on gas. And she idles high until she warms up, and then she gets down about where it needs to be. I'll pull the engine cover here, which is a little tricky sometimes by yourself. Well, holding the camera especially. Exhaust fan works, light works. These lights are all a little rough. Lenses are bad on them, most of them. They can stand to be replaced. Missing lenses, they just get corroded and crumble off over the years. Got a CD player in here, but I don't think I've got the speakers hooked up to it right now. Bathroom. Here's the door. It's got a panel in it that doesn't actually match the original panel. It's been busted out and it's been patched in. This is the bathroom. It's one solid fiberglass piece. Serves as, of course, your sink, your mirror, your shower, and then your toilet. So you would actually stand right here and in front of the toilet or sit on the toilet to shower. And I've used it 3 times. It actually works pretty well. Pretty neat. Exhaust fan. See, at one point, if you can see it, the refrigerator exhaust for the gas had leaked a little bit up here around the roof, caused this to drop down some, and no longer leaking. And over here, at one point, it got water damage, which is actually dried in now. It's dried ever since I've had it. But that's the only damage that I've noticed from any kind of water leaking or anything. See if we can get this thing to idle down some. There she goes. I'll put her in gear. I've got stuff behind it, so I'm not going to drive it anywhere. Here's reverse. I've got a vehicle, I believe, parked pretty close somewhere behind it, so I'm not going to risk it. But drive gears and everything work great in it. Go ahead and turn this thing off and show you how it fires back up. So she runs really well. Sometimes it's a cold start at first. I think it's a matter if you give it 2 or 3 pumps of gas. Reading in the manual of this thing, it recommends certain times of the year you pump it once, certain times of the year you pump it twice, certain times of the year you pump it 3 times, depending on, you know, temperatures. Here's your fuse panel box, breaker box. Underneath the stove is gas furnace, and underneath here is a hot water tank and a converter, which I don't know if we can see. Yeah, the converter, hot water tank. Inside the stove, try to do another good slow video of everything. But around here, it's got some cracks around that light, but it's not all the way through. It looks like just stress cracks, but I put a little silicone on there just in case. Generator. And there's a hose in there currently too for storage. It does run. Tank has to have, I believe, 20% of fuel for it to actually pump through the line to get to the generator. And there's definitely not that much in there, but it does run. I've actually started it several times this winter before I ran low on fuel. I think last time I started it was in December. Frame does have surface rust on it, but it's extremely thick steel, so here's the propane tank. Needs new valve. When I got it, the transmission or the valve pan covers were leaking. I put new valve pan covers on it, and new transmission gasket, filter, and fluid, but there's still remnants of where the oil had leaked from the valve pan gaskets. New calipers, which are already starting to rust up. Here's the battery compartment. Sewage clean out. Rims are all painted primer to brown, so they could definitely stand to be redone. Freshwater inlet valve, that's new. I put that on. I also replaced the onboard. Come in clear. Yeah. Water reservoir cap. Here's the exhaust for the furnace. Open the back up here. It's got a hitch. It's missing the pin though. That holds the receiver in. Okay, generator, spare tire, and your power cable also wraps around that. Here's your box to plug into once you fire up the generator. Here's where the coach battery goes. Here's where the generator battery goes. I have a small battery for a generator. I don't have one for the coach. All right. I'm up here on the roof. It's a bird's eye view of this. Sorry, it's starting to get a little dirty up here, but it's good and solid. It has a few branches. Pulled the cover off the AC last summer and hosed it out, cleaned it. All right. So let me know if you have any more questions.